What's up, collectors? Welcome back to Films by Color and to another episode of This Week in Physical Media, where we cover every new Blu-ray and 4K release that's coming out this week. We are back! We're back. Had to take last week off because I was recovering from some surgery. Thank you so much to all of you for the kind words and the well wishes that I got last week. Had to take the whole week off. No uploads at all, but we're back. We're going to do the live stream tonight. I just shot a video before this live stream that I'm going to be getting up for you soon. So we're back. Content is in full effect. So can't wait to catch up with you guys, see what you've been watching, see what you've been buying, and hopefully hear from you here tonight. Like I said, we shoot the show live every Monday night, Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. in front of a live audience right here on YouTube. So if you feel free, if you feel like joining us, maybe you're catching this after the fact on the replay, please come out live because it's a lot of fun and we always have a great conversation. You guys kind of direct the show, bring up whatever you want to talk about in the physical media space, and we'll talk about it right here. And we'll also go through all the new releases that are coming out this week. We've got new releases, new 2024 releases from theaters. We've got boutique stuff from Shout Factory and Criterion and Radiance and all kinds of 4K stuff, Steelbooks, lots of goodies to talk about this week. I was happy that if I had to miss a week, it was last week because there wasn't that much stuff coming out. But we've got a pretty full plate tonight, so we'll jump right into that. Real quick, before I start, let me see who is in the chat tonight here. We've got Kyle Hartman. Hey, giving a rundown of some of the things he picked up this week. Welcome to the stream. Also, Dan's Den, always here. Internet User, here as well, one of the regulars. Good to see you guys every week. Baloney, good evening, everyone, checking in and ready to rock. Josh Knoll is here from California. Shout out. Welcome to the stream. I'll be in LA in just 3 weeks, sir. Be in your neck of the woods. John Malahai here. Hey, everybody. He was just here at the house the other night. We had a good time. Watched a little noir film called Out of the Past. We've got Carrie Witt, Jeffrey Patrone, Henry's here, Michael's here, all the regulars. Good to see you guys. I missed you. I missed this Monday show last week. It's a good way to start off the week, and I'm glad we're doing it this week. So let's go ahead. I'll just start rolling on these new releases, let people start filing in, and then we'll have a good conversation. So let me switch over to the other screen. Boom. Here we are. Hopefully you can still hear my audio. There we are. Getting back into the swing of things here. All right. First things first, we got a big Pixar release coming out this week, and I actually saw this one in theaters. It's been forever since I saw a Pixar movie in theaters, but I actually caught this one with the family a couple weeks back, and it was all right. It was okay. It was pretty good. It didn't blow me away or anything, but it was fun. It was fun. Here we go. Pixar Inside Out 2 with a fun steelbook. I kind of like this. Maybe wish it was a little bit more involved with the background, but it's fun. It's a fun art style. You got all the characters on there, bright and colorful. Inside is a lot more involved. You got the screenshot from that scene in the film, and in the back is a nice little. I actually really like that. That's actually cool. That could have been the front, honestly. Maybe blown up a little bigger, but I like it. It's you don't see a lot of like stark white steelbooks like that, but it is a 4K Blu-ray and digital combo pack, all three formats, and it's interesting that they're doing steelbooks now because for the longest time, Disney and Pixar would release those kind of limited edition digipacks that were really cool, like the Target exclusives, and then they switched over to just kind of those glorified slipcovers that were not that great for a while, but now they're doing steelbooks. I guess they see that's where everything's going in the boutique space. So we've got that. It is list. Okay, I know that, and I brought this up last week. I was here, and people are like, "Well, don't worry, that's not the actual list price." But why even put it? Like $68 is the list price. Obviously, it's going to be a lot cheaper than that when it comes out tomorrow. It's listed already right now. It's $45. That's still too much for a steelbook for me personally. $45. Ugh, that's a lot. That's too much for me. But if that's in your budget, maybe check out Inside Out 2. It's a handsome looking steelbook. We've also got a standard 4K slipcover version. Oh, no, we don't. We've got a standard Blu-ray slipcover version. Where you go with the regular poster on that version. That's Blu-ray, DVD, and digital. And I don't know if it has. Oh, it does have a slip. So there you go. Nice purple spine slip there. So are those the only two versions? Do you have to get a steelbook to get the 4K? That is kind of crazy. I don't see another 4K version. So that might be it for Inside Out. Disney might be really cutting back, just doing the Blu-ray slip and the 4K steelbook. So I guess you got to pick your poison there. But that's Inside Out too. That's coming out. And then we've also got a couple 4Ks here from Shout Factory, which is a good old classic boutique label that always puts out, solid stuff. I don't have too much of their releases, but this is The Stepfather. He wanted a perfect family in a perfect town, but they couldn't measure up. Neither could the others. Interesting. The Stepfather, 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray Collector's Edition from Shout Factory, 1987 horror mystery thriller film. There you go. A nice 4K release with you'll get one of those nice slip covers that Shout Factory almost always does. I don't think they always do slip covers, but maybe for their 4Ks they always do slip covers. But we've got that coming out, and then one more here. We've got The Strangers. Lots of Strangers movies. I almost mentioned it at the top. We've got our first Strangers movie for this week. The Strangers, getting a 4K release, also from Shout Factory. Also a 4K Blu-ray combo pack. This is the original 2008 movie that started it all. It's cool that this is kind of coinciding with the new release that came out earlier this year. The much more beloved original, The Strangers, inspired by true events. This is, Liv Tyler. I didn't even remember that she was in this. But we've got a 4K slipcover from Shout Factory for the original, and it says 2 cuts on here. So there's apparently an alternate cut included as well. So I know a lot of people are excited about that one. That's been on news channels for the last couple weeks that's coming out. I'm sure it's probably a good release from Shout Factory. And then coinciding with The Strangers getting a 4K release, we have All of Us Strangers getting a 4K release from Criterion. This was announced a while back. This is kind of a big deal because I believe it's a Fox Searchlight title. Now they've followed it up again with The Shape of Water, so it seems like a pretty much done deal that they can now include Fox titles again after the Disney merger, which is great. This is a 2023 film that just came out last year. I have not seen it, but my wife liked it a lot. I don't know if she'll pick this one up or not. But it seemed like a great one. It was a highly talked about film last year. I'm sorry that I missed it, but it is coming out on 4K and Blu-ray combo pack. All of Us Strangers from Criterion. That's the first row. That's the first 4 films that we're talking about this evening. Let's jump in the chat and see what people are saying. I missed you guys. What are we talking about? What are we talking about tonight? Let's see. Evil Wax popped in. Oh, internet user says Inside Out of the Past. Jeffrey says I love Out of the Past. Yeah, it's really cool. It's a noir film. Evil Wax says hi DJ, made it, but a few minutes late. No worries, sir. No worries. No one's keeping track. No one's clocking in here. Carrie Witt, I like the Inside Out 2 art. It would certainly stand out on the white portion of your shelf. That's true. I don't know how white it is. I think it's kind of like a beige color. I might actually have to go like right here in like the light brown section. I guess it kind of depends how it appears on camera. Most of the time it depends how it appears on camera. Like sometimes you'll have to put something where it goes, even if it's slightly like a different color, it looks different on camera sometimes. Interesting to nobody. Chris Alders is here. Greetings, film lovers from Edmonton, Canada. Sweet, we've got a Canadian in the chat. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you. Stepfather is a good little thriller, says Posty. Good to hear from you, Posty. Let's see. Oh, John Malai. Terry O'Quinn, DJ, did you have a favorite Lost character? Oh, it's been forever since I've seen Lost. But yeah, I'm sure I did. I had a lot of favorite Lost characters. That was kind of the beauty of that show, is that so many great characters came in and out. I liked Charlie. I liked Hurley. I liked Locke for a while till he like completely lost his mind and went off the deep end. I'm forgetting what is the guy's name? Mr. Echo. There it is. Mr. Echo is my favorite Lost character. He was awesome. Love that guy. Gus is here. Hey, Gus. Always appreciate the gusto. And he says, I get my Inside Out 2 4K Steelbook tomorrow. Well, good. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope it comes in perfect condition for you. Wow, a lot of people popping in. Let me try to catch up real quick. Evil Wax says, decided to pick up some 4Ks in the Arrow 50% off Barnes & Noble sale. Flatliners, Weird Science, 12 Monkeys, Barbarella, and True Romance. Well, good on you, man. I bought too much stuff last month, and I did not have any money left over for the Arrow sale, which is a bummer, but I'm glad other people are taking advantage of it. Benrus, hi DJ, hope your septum is less deviated and healing well. Yeah, we're all good. We're back to 100%. No issues. Not too bad. I'm very lucky, very thankful for how it went. Let's see. Oh, here's a great question from Posty. We don't usually get into questions this early, but I got to go ahead and do it. Posty, DJ, what movie gave you the most trouble figuring out where to put it on the color wall? So there's actually several, and this, I don't know if there'd be enough appeal to do a video about this, but there's a few, like, and the ones that are the worst are the ones that are like two different colors, like that don't even have a color. Like, an example would be John Carter. I don't know if you can see John Carter back there. It's behind my microphone, but it's literally half orange and half blue. And then Wonder Woman right next to it is the same thing. So luckily there's enough orange that it kind of blends in there, but those are annoying. One of the recent Godzilla movies was like just half blue and half yellow, and it still doesn't fit really anywhere on the shelf. There's a lot of stuff like that where it won't be a solid color. Some of them will just be like a picture on the side. One of the Christmas carols that I have is like green and red, and it's just like a picture that goes across the whole spine. It's really ugly. I love the movie, but it's a really ugly release, and it's really hard to get anywhere on the shelf. But luckily, if you put it like around enough similar things, it kind of blends together. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. I could talk about that for a while. Great question, Posty. Great question. Let's get back to the new releases, though. We've got Wind River. I put this in the thumbnail. This is a really cool release. I've not seen this film, but it's a lovely Lionsgate Films Walmart exclusive steelbook, 4K Blu-ray digital. It's everything you want. It's all the formats. It's an exclusive steelbook from Lionsgate. Probably has a nice slip cover like they always do. Heard nothing but rave reviews about this movie when it came out a few years ago, and now it's getting a really nice release. I actually really, really like the artwork on this one. Based the whole thumbnail around it, actually, for the show tonight, because it really stood out. Is there a slip? Yeah, kind of. It looks like there's a clear slip on that. But look at that. That just looks so good. I might have to check that one out. Love Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen, two wonderful actors, mainly known for the MCU these days, but I need to go back and check this out. It's like a small, lower stakes, just kind of survival movie, if I'm right about that. Crime thriller type thing. It seems cool. It seems like something that Grace would really like to watch too. So we should. Man, I'm tight for money right now, but that one might have to rise to the top of the list. If you guys think I should get it, if you guys recommend it, let me know in the chat. And then moving on, we got another 2024 release. This is Horizon, an American Saga, which I have heard mixed things about. Some people love it. Some people really thought it was just atrocious. One of my dearest friends, Connor, who you guys know, he's been on the channel a lot. He absolutely hated this. Thought it was just terrible. I have not seen it. But it is the new Kevin Costner directed, like super long 3-hour Western mini-series kind of movie that's like part 1 of 3 or something like that. There's a standard 4K with digital for chapter 1. And then there's also, this is cool, actually, that it got an exclusive steelbook, because I know it didn't do very well and make a lot of money. But we've got an exclusive steelbook for Walmart. And it looks nice. It's very nice. I love the look of it. I mean, it looks like I love the cinematography there on the cover. Said, haven't seen the film, but it just came out this year, and that is a triple pack as well, 4K Blu-ray and digital, at your local Walmart. So hopefully your Walmart is one of the few that has a nice steelbook section, because mine don't. Mine suck, but I've seen pictures online of some really cool sections out there. So yeah, check your local Walmarts for that one as well. And then we've got Richard Pryor live on the Sunset Strip getting a 4K release. This is cool. A stand-up comedy routine getting a nice 4K treatment with what looks like a slipcover and everything. That's very cool. Richard Pryor getting a lot of love lately. A couple weeks ago we talked about, or not yet, maybe not. I don't know if we've talked about it yet. It might be coming soon, but there's a Richard Pryor release coming out from Indicator, boutique label, that I noticed was coming soon. But this is a 1982 comedy show. Then we've got Dark Knight of the Scarecrows, 1 and 2 getting a 4K Blu-ray release. This is awesome. What is this? Well, hold on, let me see what this is from. VCI. This is from VCI. Obviously, it's a horror collection of 2 films. Dark Knight of the Scarecrows, 1 and 2. Bubba's back in 4K UHD. So we've got a scarecrow by the name of Bubba, terrorizing people from 1981 and 2002. So this is a decades later sequel. I have no idea what this is. If these are cult, I'm assuming they're cult classics coming from VCI, but there you go. That is coming out just in time for the spooky season. Let me know if you've heard of those and if you've seen those films. And then one more here. I'm getting on a roll. Let's go ahead and knock a couple of these out. This is Knuckles getting a 4K release. I didn't even know this was a thing. And maybe we shouldn't talk about it. We don't usually talk about TV shows, but this is a miniseries that I'm assuming is kind of in the same franchise as the 2 Sonic movies that we have so far, and the 3rd one that's coming soon. Pretty crazy that it's getting a 4K release for a 2024 miniseries. But there you go. You got Sonic with a standard 4K, and then you've got Sonic getting a Steelbook. Knuckles. But I'm sure Sonic's in there as well. But there you go. A nice, bright, vibrant Knuckles Steelbook getting a 4K release. So if you're a completionist with Sonic franchise stuff, there you go. You got to grab that Steelbook for Knuckles. Everyone who's been watching that Knuckles show. It's all the rage, I hear. I actually didn't know I didn't know it existed. But let's jump back over here and see what people are saying in the chat. I just rattled through quite a few big things there. A lot of stuff coming out this week. Like I said, got a lot to cover. So let's not waste any time. Let's see what people are saying. Posty says Horizon, more like Event Horizon. I'm in hell. So I'm guessing he didn't like it. But Josh Knoll did. Josh Knoll, I loved Horizon. Thought it was beautiful to look at. I was never bored during the 3-hour runtime, and I really hope part 2 comes out in theaters. So like I said, very divisive. I've heard both sides of the aisle on this one. Carrie Witt wanted to like it, but unfortunately it did not. And then Dan's Den, Horizon is a really great exploration of frontier life, which somehow manages to feel overstuffed and not stuffed at all. Okay, so maybe he's a little in the middle on that one. Benris says, I really want to get All of Us Strangers now, but need to stay strong until the Barnes & Noble sale. Yeah, you gotta wait. It's right around the corner, dude. Just a couple months. You can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. Josh Knoll, the sequel has been made and premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival last week. Okay, sweet. So I guess Horizon is pushing forward. There was a lot of, back and forth. It was a little scary there for a second because I heard a lot of people like pulling out and stuff and canceling, or at least rumors of it. Movie addict Matt, Wind River's great. Just go without eating for a few days. Use that money for the movie. Worth it. You joke about that. I've totally done that before, and I've also gone like 15 years without buying new shoes so I could buy movies. Still rocking my high school Converse. Just FYI. Jeffrey Patron, much like Sonic, DJ has got to go fast through these weekly releases. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We've got a lot. And yes, Brent, looking forward to that Pryor and Wilder Indicator box set coming out from Indicator. That's what I was talking about. Yes, the Pryor and Wilder box set. Looks lovely. I love those limited editions from Indicator. All right. Back to the new releases for my replay folks who want me to get through these before we start chatting and get too far off the rails. Black Belt Jones is getting a release from Warner Archive Collection. Always love giving shout outs to Warner Archive because they put out great, solid releases every single week almost. And this is, what is this? I don't know what this is. He clobbers the mobs as Black Belt Jones. Enter Jim Dragon Kelly. There it is. This is very different from what I usually see from Warner Archive, and I am not upset about it. It sounds great. It's like a martial arts comedy adventure from the creators of Enter the Dragon reunite for another action-packed adventure. This is one about the mafia getting more than it bargained for when it attempts to muscle in on a karate school run by a martial arts master. So one man versus the mob. Look at that. Interesting. 1974. Perfect. Perfect era for American martial arts stuff. Man, this looks fun. I actually don't know what this is at all, but I'm going to have to look more into this one because that sounds kind of fun. But yeah, 85 minutes, nice breezy comedy. Sounds cool. Black Belt Jones. Get it wherever you get your Blu-rays. And then we've got Kill getting a 4K, another Amazon exclusive steelbook. Oh, no, excuse me. Most of them have been Walmart so far. This is an Amazon exclusive steelbook, but it is from Lionsgate. So Lionsgate is playing both sides of the fence here. They're taking it in the front and the back. We got Amazon exclusive steelbook as well, and this is really cool. I actually like this. Warning, beware of suspicious passengers. So it's kind of, designed to look like a subway window. And this is actually really cool. Because what do we all hate? What's the biggest thing we hate about it's like these big blue banners at the top, or these big 4K banners at the top. They actually went the extra mile here and made the 4K Blu-ray digital banner at the top kind of look like part of the artwork, part of the subway decals, which is really cool. I actually really appreciate that. I don't know what this film is. Kill from 2023. So an action movie from last year. It's a foreign action movie. Oh, an Hindi film. Okay. So it's in Hindi. Interesting. Interesting. A train action movie. It seems like we put so many action movies. It seems like trains are like one of the best places to put action movies for some reason. Seems like that's a go-to place lately to put some really brutal, bloody action movies. So Kill, getting a 4K release. More 4Ks coming. We've got Batman. This is a 10-film collection from Batman. From Batman, like Batman's putting it out. No, 10 Batman films for the 85th anniversary collection of Batman. They put out a release like this, I think 5 years ago for the 80th. That was like a DVD release that had this kind of same artwork on the front. I remember people picking that up. Now you've got a really nice box set version for 4K with all 10 of these discs. And this is all animated films. From all running the whole gamut. We've got Mask of the Phantasm 4K, obviously from the 90s. Then we've got a lot more of the recent straight-to-video releases like Year One, Assault on Arkham, Killing Joke, Gotham by Gaslight, Hush, Soul of the Dragon, Long Halloween, The Doom That Came to Gotham, and Batman and Harley Quinn. So all 10 of these on 4K, just a repackage and putting those discs all in one box. But it's a nice box. I love the black and yellow. It looks great. I love the kind of collage, shattered glass looking box that we're getting. All the films listed right there on the front. Very cool, but very expensive. $205 is the list price on that. So about $20 a film, which is kind of steep if you're getting them all at once in a box set, but it is available right now on Amazon for $162. So that's a little bit better if you have that much money. If you're not getting the Never-Ending Story $170 box set, maybe go ahead and get this one instead if you're a big Batman fan. I am not a big Batman fan, so I will not be grabbing that, but hopefully there's an audience for it and it sells pretty well. Then we're going to Radiance Films, which is one of my new favorite labels, and this is a fascinating release that I was looking into a couple weeks ago. This is Viva la Muerte, Long Live Death. So this is a film by, what's the director's name? Fernando Arrabal, who I recently became aware of because he started the Panic movement with Alejandro Jodorowsky and the art director for Fantastic Planet. I was doing a lot of research on Fantastic Planet because I did a discussion on a podcast for that recently, and those three guys started this movement. I think it was like in the 70s, of this kind of this panic, like art shock movement to kind of shake things up in the film industry, especially. Roland Topor was the third guy who worked on Fantastic Planet. He did go on to make a couple more movies, but the other two guys are actual directors like Jodorowsky and Arrabal, and they're a lot more well known to the public. So it's really cool that we're getting a film from him put out by Radiance, and it seems interesting. I remember looking through the description of this one on the website. Nice, bright, vibrant, colorful artwork on that one, and it sounds interesting. So I'm excited about that one. That might have to be in my next Radiance haul when that comes out. So if that sounds interesting to you, maybe check it out. I guess I should tell you more about it. It's kind of like similar to Jodorowsky, I think. It's like a surreal, just a straightforward drama, but it's very surreal, set during the Spanish Civil War. So there you go. Check out Viva la Muerte. Next, we've got To Kill a Mastermind, coming from 88 Films, which is a label we don't talk about near enough on this channel. They don't put out too many releases, but when they do, they look lovely. Look at this. Beautiful artwork here on the front. Looks absolutely bananas. Looks awesome. A 1979 martial arts action film. I'm assuming it's Hong Kong action film. The Imperial Court orders Minister Yang to bring down a ruthless crime syndicate by sending undercover agents to the clan and disintegrating them from the inside. So a little espionage, little intrigue, little gangster stuff, but all with the 88 Films classic Hong Kong action bend. So it sounds cool. Sounds really cool. I can't get into 88 Films at this point. I'm way too far behind. There are dozens and dozens and tons of releases, but that one looks pretty cool. So if you're a fan of those, maybe grab that one. Maybe grab that one and Black Belt Jones and do a double feature. Speaking of Black Belt Jones, people talking about it in the chat here. Dan's Den. Black Belt Jones, essentially blaxploitation, but for Enter the Dragon, which also featured Jim Kelly. I knew that guy looked familiar. And then Carrie Witt says Jim Kelly was indeed in Enter the Dragon. He played Williams. What else are people saying here? Ashley Bolden. Welcome to the chat. That's a name I don't immediately recognize. Black Belt Jones is pretty decent blaxploitation. Jim Kelly was also doing martial arts in his films, while his counterparts used weaponry. Oh, okay. That's fun. Gus, they don't have any of the Blu-rays. I don't know what Gus is talking about. Gus, give me more information. But I'm sorry that they don't have any of the Blu-rays. Henry says that Viva la Mort is surreal and interesting. Posty says it's crazy. I need to rewatch it again before I can say whether or not I liked it. I like those kind of films, actually. Radiance sent me that and World Noir Volume 2 a month ago. Oh, sweet. Is Radiance, are you on a first name basis with Radiance? Are they sending you stuff in the mail? Let me know how I can get in on that. I would love that because I love Radiance's stuff, but that shipping is expensive. Evil Wax. I heard that Viva la Mort is similar to a Jodorowsky movie. Sounds like I would like it as it's supposed to be bonkers. Right? That's what I'm saying. I want to get in on that action too. Lots of people recommending that film. I think I am going to have to get that one eventually at some point. That one's calling to me from the boutique label of Radiance. All right, next up. Wow. Why is this so low on the list? Is this? No, this is okay. This is a different one. I was going to say, this should be a bigger deal if this is what I thought it was. But it's not. It's 1974's The Antichrist from Kino Cult. Kino Cult releasing this one. Kino Cult's been on fire lately. Ever since they started this line, they've been dropping a ton of stuff. Kino Cult, The Antichrist, spy number 15 already from DeMartino. There you go. It's a 4K and Blu-ray combo pack from 1974. All right, any other Kino Cult stuff coming out this week, I wonder? Probably. They usually release them in batches. Let me see if I can jump down and show you the other ones while we're at it. Yes, here we are. And this is Zoltan, Hound of Dracula. This is a movie about Dracula's dog, and it's actually called Dracula's Dog as the subtitle. And it's also from the 70s, 1977. They've been cranking out these 70s cult movies from Kino Cult recently. So directed by Albert Band. Artwork looks amazing. I don't know who the guy in the middle is. You've got Dracula here, then you've got two dogs, and then you've got a blue alien looking guy. Maybe that's like Dracula's true form. I don't know what's going on, but this looks amazing. This looks like exactly the kind of thing I would like to watch around spooky season in a couple months. I actually have a couple old Hammer, Dracula, and weird Frankenstein films in a box set that I picked up earlier this year that I'm going to try to get to in October this year. So I'm excited about that. But this looks just crazy. This looks amazing. Kino Cult, killing it with their physical releases lately. Both of those, or that one's just Blu-ray. I think the other one, another one's 4K too, is it? Is that 4K? That is 4K. Zoltan, Hound of Dracula, getting a 4K. 2024 is a wild time to be collecting physical media. That is nuts that it's getting a 4K release. Then we've got the Primevals from Full Moon Features. Now this, if you haven't heard of this is crazy. Primevals is a film that was started, I can't remember the year. I was doing some reconnaissance on this a couple weeks ago, saw a little bit about it. But this movie it's like a classic stop motion movie that was started in the 50s or 60s. A long time ago. It was never finished, and they worked on it for years and years and years, and they finally just finished it last year in 2023, and it's been going to some film festivals. I think, what is it? Umbrella put out a really nice big box set release of it. That was awesome. Look at that. That looks so cool. I wanted to support this so bad. I love stop motion, and I love the fact that these guys kept us alive for so long, for decades and decades, and finally finished it. But the box set was it was like $150 or something. It was crazy. It was way out of my budget. I couldn't afford it. But this is a standard release right here for only $15. So there you go. If that sounds interesting to you, maybe check out the Primevals. It sounds interesting to me. I don't know if it's great, but just the concept and the fact that they finished it was really cool. And I'd love to see just a movie that took that long to make. It's fascinating. So there you go. The Primevals on Amazon. We've got Boulevard Nights from Warner Archive Collection. Completely different from their last release that's coming out this week, but everything happens on the boulevard, and the boulevard happens at night. This is a crime drama from 1979. 70s is the decade to beat tonight. We've got so many 70s movies coming out this week. This is directed by Michael Pressman, and it's a nice little crime film from the 70s, Boulevard Nights. There you go. Good job, Warner Archive, putting out lots of stuff this week. And we'll get to these last few releases here in just a second. Let me check in with you guys. Take a sip of my water, rejuvenate the throat, and we'll see what people are saying. Okay. Gus was talking about the Batman set when he said there was no Blu-rays, just 4Ks. I gotcha. Let's see what's going on. Dan Stan Zoltar, the shocking true story of Dracula's dog. It's fantastical. Hey, it sounds like it. Carrie Witt, since you brought up Hammer, the Art of Hammer coffee table book is excellent. Ooh, interesting. I always want to collect more film books. It's just, they're really expensive. Film books are like 60, 70, 80 bucks a lot of the time. I finally got the Criterion one, which is awesome. But yeah, I'll have to look into that. Kevin House, I see that the Antichrist features Alida Valli, the female lead in the classic The Third Man. Oh, really? Nice eye there. I love The Third Man. It's great. Really, really good movie. And now this just joined. I hope I didn't miss much. You did. You missed much, but there's lots more to catch. So don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. And now this says, did you have any thoughts on the Neverending Story for almost $200 from Imprint? Yes, I have thoughts. My thoughts are sad. I'm not going to be able to buy it. I've been wanting to get a 4K. There's been like a, German 4K of Neverending Story for like a long time that I've wanted to get for a while, and I just have been holding off for some boutique label to get it. I love Imprint. I would love to get that box set. There's no way I can spend or justify spending $170 on one movie, so that's not in the cards for me, but hopefully this means that some other American boutique label will get their hands on it, and I can buy it for $50, $60. That's a lot, but hopefully I can get some release of it, because I do like that movie. I watched it as a kid. I didn't grow up with it, but I've seen it as an adult, and I do like it quite a bit. It's a cool fantasy movie. So yeah, it's a bummer. Same thing with Labyrinth and what was the other one? Dark Crystal, that are getting like these big giant releases that are like $200 from Shout Factory. I didn't grow up with those. I haven't even seen those movies, but I would love to get those. And I think there's like some Walmart Steelbooks coming out soon. Maybe I'll get those. Maybe I'll settle for the Steelbooks on those. And hopefully we'll get a better release of Neverending. Not a better, but a cheaper release of Neverending Story that I can afford. Evil Wax. I love stop motion too. Appreciate anything done with stop motion, as the process of creating a feature-length stop motion movie takes a long time. It does. You got to respect it. Even if it's not your thing. It's great. And it is my thing, so I try to find it. There's a stop-motion movie called The Pied Piper that's right back there from Deaf Crocodile that I'm saving for Halloween. I'm going to watch that around Halloween time, and I'm really looking forward to it. Nacho says, LOL, 200, too much. Agreed, way too much. But hopefully, like I said, fingers crossed. Next up, we'll run through a couple more of these here, start wrapping things up. We're making good time. We're about 30 minutes in. Fate Vision is coming out from Kino Lorber, just a standard Blu-ray release. This is a TV miniseries from 1984, a crime series. Interesting. Only $20 on that release if you're interested in that. We've got, what else new coming out here? Once to Every Woman from Sony Pictures. We don't talk about Sony. Sony does good, I hear Sony does really good restorations, but they don't put out stuff that often. This is a Columbia Pictures, so kind of a classic black and white film from 1934. A drama of the piece hinges on the conflict between brilliant young surgeon Barclay and crusty hospital head Dr. Selby. What a good adjective. I'm going to call people crusty more often. All of Us Strangers, also getting a Blu-ray release. We already covered that one. Then we've got The Golden Lotus, another 88 films release. So they're putting out two 70s films this week. We've had the one from 1979, and now we have The Golden Lotus from 1974. And those 88 films releases are not cheap. They are coming out right at $35, which is, Pretty standard for boutiques, I guess. I guess Criterion's way up there too. I just only buy them on the sales. Then we've got a couple more things here. There is another Kill 4K Steelbook, another Lionsgate one. Or is this not? This is not a Steelbook. This is just a regular? This is just the regular. So we've got, if you don't like that, I actually really like that artwork on that Steelbook, but if you don't like Steelbooks, there's also a 4K digital slipcover version right here. And I've heard some people in the chat were saying this is really good. So check out Kill if you haven't seen that, and that sounds like your thing. A couple different options for you there. And then way down here, we've got another Kino Lorber release, 2 weeks in September. Perfect timing for this release right here. Wow, what in the world's going on here? Oh, this is a Kino Classic. So we had Kino Cult, and now we've got a Kino Classics release. They're hitting all their labels, or all their sub-labels, pretty well lately. That's a 1967 romance film, so covering all their bases. Then we've got Totem, which is coming out from Janus Contemporaries, all the way down here at the bottom, which is kind of sad to see that the Janus Contemporaries is not as popular as the other Criterion releases. But this is a newer release. This is, what is this, 2023, and it says it was Best International Feature Film for the 96th Academy Awards from Mexico, or at least the official entry. I don't think it won, but it was official entry. Interesting. Totem, 2023. So that's the Criterion adjacent line where they're putting out newer, more modern releases with very little supplements and a very tiny booklet, but still very cool. You can get that for just $15 in the sale in November. Got another Kino Lorber release here called Avenging Force from 1986. That looks like a 1986 film. Avenging Force. That's clearly a action movie, a crime action movie that looks, silly and fun. 1986. And then we've got Clock Watchers, not Clock Stoppers, the classic Nickelodeon film from my childhood. These guys are just watching the clocks. They're not stopping them. We've got 1997 comedy about clock watchers, a female comedy, starring a nice cast of 4 female leads, starring Toni Collette. Wow. Toni Collette. This is a crazy cast. What is this? Toni Collette, Parker Posey, Lisa Kudrow, and Alana Bach. Wow, that is an awesome cast. I absolutely love Parker Posey. Day Trippers, one of my favorite movies of all time. Toni Collette is in several of my favorite movies. She's awesome. And of course, Lisa Kudrow, classic 90s actress. You can't go wrong with that. Wow, I had no interest in that until I looked at the cast. Let me know what you guys think of that. Clock Watchers. Then we've got a Blu-ray release of Horizon, which we already talked about. We've got another Kino action film from the 80s called Rolling Vengeance. It looks very similar to the last one we just talked about. He's like a Mad Max monster truck, leather jacket wearing action dude from 1987. So there you go. Couple different options from Kino Lorber if you're in for your action movie fix this month. And I think that's going to do it for us. There's a couple different versions of things we've already talked about, but for the most part, we have covered every single new Blu-ray and 4K release that's coming out this week. Let me know in the chat which ones you're most excited for, which ones you're most looking forward to. There's a lot of variety this week. I don't really have a central theme other than a lot of 70s movies are coming out. I guess we're finally getting to the 70s. We've been in a 90s and 80s kick in physical media re-releases for a while, so I guess it's time the 70s got their due. And most of them kind of cult classics from the 70s. Had some horror stuff, some martial arts stuff, some action stuff. So there you go. We've done it. Thank you guys for tuning in to all the new releases that are coming out this week. Wanted to get through them kind of quick this evening so we could have some time to catch up and chat. Let me know what you guys want to talk about for the rest of the stream, and I'll be here. I got nothing else going on. So I'll lube up the pipes one more time. Probably not the last time, actually. And then we'll talk in the chat. All right, let me scroll back up, see what people are saying here. Carrie Witt, Shout Factory is coming out with $200 box sets of both Labyrinth and Dark Crystal, but there are cheaper Shout versions coming out at the same time. Both are great movies, DJ. Yes, I did see that. That's why I mentioned the Walmart exclusive Steelbook versions that they're going to be putting out. Maybe I'll grab those if they look nice, if the artwork's nice, if they've got some cool releases for those. Those are 2 other movies that I've been meaning to watch forever because I like fantasy stuff, but I'm also like kind of leery because I don't know if those will work for me. I hear from people that those are kind of movies you had to grow up with because they're kind of weird, and maybe don't hold up really well. So I don't know. Let me know if I should finally take the plunge and watch Labyrinth and Dark Crystal because I haven't yet. And now this, I did pre-order it from Diabolique DVD for $180. It took me 10 minutes to finally talk myself into it. Well, that's still pretty quick. I'm still talking about it. I don't think I'm ever going to talk myself into it, but wow, $180. Oh, I know there's a lot of cool stuff in there, so you can probably justify it. I mean, like you're getting a book, you're getting like a bunch of artifacts and stuff. It's cool. It's probably worth it. I know it's going to be worth it for a lot of people. I'm sure it'll sell out. I know it's limited edition, but yeah, for me, if I'm going to spend that much, it's got to be a box set. It's going to have like a bunch of films. I'm not to the point yet where I can spend that much on one movie. Maybe someday. You know, it's slippery slope. Henry says Fatal Vision is a great true crime miniseries. Oh, good. I'm glad someone has seen that one. Dan's Den, Once to Every Woman. Rare to see a Ralph Bellamy star vehicle get a Blu-ray release like this. Yeah, we're getting into some deep cuts, like deep cuts. That's one thing I've been noticing lately, especially from those smaller boutique labels like Warner Archive. Doing cool stuff. Nacho says Totem is great. So proud of the director. She even was invited to the Criterion Closet. Oh, cool. That's nice. I love watching those videos. Let's see. Bailey Walsh popped into the stream. Welcome. Says hello all. I've been listening for a bit, but now can join the chat. Awesome. Good to have you. Benris says Clock Watchers is a great film about boredom of working in an office, watching the clock till day ends. And Posty says, I think Clock Watchers is a real cult movie. Cool. I had never heard of it, but it sounds interesting. Well, I don't know if it sounds interesting. It sounds like that's the point of it, is that it's not interesting and they're just kind of bored, but you can't go wrong with that great cast. Carrie Witt, Avenging Force, those who love Magnum Force, Delta Force, Air Force One, Brute Force, and Force 10 from Navarone. you gotta get all the films in the Force saga, although Brute Force is, I think, supposed to be like the best one of all of those, and I do have Brute Force back there, and I haven't seen it yet, and I need to rectify that soon. Also, I really want that Force. Is Force 10 from Navarone, is that the original film from like the 60s, 50s, 60s, or is that the like pseudo remake revisit that Harrison Ford did later? I know one of them has a steelbook, and one of them has the Harrison Ford one has like a really cool Indicator limited edition release that I've seen going around on eBay, but I've never jumped on it because I don't know if it's any good. Michael Smith, Clock Watchers is a slower, dry comedy. Don't expect guffaws. Well, I love dry comedy, actually. That's kind of my thing. Dry comedy, dark comedy, sarcastic comedy. That's my wheelhouse. That's my lane. I love that kind of comedy. I don't go for the big, over the top, in your face kind of comedies. That doesn't usually do it for me. Baloney, whatever happened to online exclusive content when you bought a Blu-ray? Luckily it went away because I never ever used that. Did anyone do that? Like you know how when, I know what you're talking about. Blu-ray players, once they got the internet like inside them, they would be like, you can look this up, and you have to use like the crappy internet on the Blu-ray player, and it's horrible and it takes forever. I never did that. So maybe I was missing out on some good stuff. I always preferred the supplements just to be on the disc. I thought that was always really silly. I do like when digital services do it. Like when they put the supplements, if you like buy a movie or use the digital code and it comes with supplements, that's really cool. People don't do that enough. I wish they would do that. I don't buy a lot of digital stuff anyway, but if I'm going to buy the physical copy and it comes with a digital copy, I would love the supplements to be included as well, just in case I want to watch it somewhere else, which I don't usually do, but I really appreciate that. Nacho is getting Totem, All of Us Strangers, and Kill, and Inside Out 2. Sweet. So you see, look at that. Very, very, a lot of variety in your shopping cart. I hope you enjoy all those and they make it to you safely and efficiently. Evil Wax says, I like Clock Watchers quite a bit. Remembered it being a dark comedy, but it's been a while since I've watched it. You guys are selling me on this movie more and more. I might have to tell Grace about this one. Let's see. Bailey Walsh, Clock Watchers was not what I was expecting. I thought it was all right, but would probably appreciate it more in a second viewing. Sometimes I find that I do have better viewings on a second watch if it is that kind of dry wit. I actually just watched one of my favorite comedies of all time, and this will be in the aforementioned upcoming video, but I finally got my hands on The Odd Couple. Look at this. Oh, this is one of those imprint box sets that I've wanted forever. I've seen it in people's videos on people's shelves online for the longest time, and I finally found a seller, literally in Australia, who had this. He was in one of the collector groups that I'm in, and he gave me a great deal on it. I was so happy to finally get this, and I watched it immediately last night. Absolutely love that movie. It is perfect. I love it. And now this. I want the Batman movies box set, but I'll wait until it drops to $100. Sounds like a good plan. 100 movies, or 10 movies for $100, $10 each. That'd be a great deal if you do find it that low and get the 10 4K movies for $100 is great. Hopefully you get your hands on that because it does look like a cool box set. I don't know if I'd be interested in all those movies, but maybe. I've never seen the original, what's it called? Mask of the Phantasm. Never even saw it. Totally missed that one growing up. So that would be cool to see that in 4K, and it seems like a cool box set. Evil Wax. Who else thinks that these Columbia box sets are a scam? Good. There we go. Yeah, this is why we do this. Let's get into some conspiracies. Charge us close to $200 for the set, and there are only a couple that you want. Also, they're only available in the box set. I mean, yeah. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of them. I mentioned this in my box set video recently. I'm not a fan of them, but I appreciate that they exist for the people that are. Because, like you said, that's the reason. Because a lot of those movies aren't popular enough to get their own individual releases. They won't sell enough, so they can't justify it. But if they put it with a couple movies that they know people really do want, then you get a chance to get those movies. So I see the pros and cons. I don't like big box sets that are just random assortments of movies. I much prefer like themed box sets where the movies go together, where they're part of a series. But if that's the only way you can get those movies, I'm still glad they're getting put out, and I'm glad those are getting some love and some appreciation that way. But yeah, it sucks. It's a bummer. I think the way a lot of people do it is they just buy the box set and they try to sell the individuals that they don't want and try to make their money back that way. It seems like a good way to go. I see a lot of those single releases listed on eBay for around like $30-$40. So you can usually get them for okay prices if you want to dole them out. But yeah, I don't have any of those Columbia box sets because they are expensive. And I am just a little hobbyist who does not have much money to spend on his hobby. And his hobby is literally just spending money. That's what our hobby is. So it's tough. Carrie Witt, can we talk about how all 4 Barnes & Nobles in my city stopped carrying Arrow? Boo! Yes. Well, I also have no Arrows at my Barnes & Nobles. They all stopped last year, I think. They were starting to dwindle. I think they have like a couple, like maybe a few Arrow releases here and there, just like in the regular releases, but there's no end cap, there's no display, there's nothing. It's just, you might stumble across one, you might not. So that's another reason why I haven't really been participating in the Arrow sales lately. It's kind of lame. Like the only thing, like whenever one of those big limited edition comes out, like Conan or Barbarella, they'll have like one. So if I get there early enough, I can get one, but that's it. They don't carry any backstock on that stuff. I'm very jealous of my friends who live in cooler towns. Like Connor mentioned him before. He lives in Oregon. His Barnes & Noble has started carrying Indicator releases. What the crap? He has like so many. He has way more Criterions at his Barnes & Noble than me. He has Arrow releases still. They're carrying Indicator, the new U.S. Indicator releases. His Barnes & Noble's awesome, and mine sucks. So thanks a lot, Connor. No, I'm very happy that you can get those releases in store. I would love to get those releases in store and not have to ship them over here. But let's see what else people are talking. Holy smokes, look at this. Nacho, $20, $19.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Nacho. Really, really appreciate it. This is specifically for you to buy Wind River. Trust me, DJ, it is amazing. Oh, sweet. I will try to see if I can find a copy of that. I'll go to it's a Walmart exclusive. I'll go to my Walmart. I can't guarantee it because my Walmarts are about as good as my Barnes & Nobles. But thank you so much. I really, really appreciate the support, and that's the movie I'm genuinely interested in checking out. Thanks so much, Nacho. You're the best. You're the best, buddy. Gus, Labyrinth and Dark Crystal are amazing films, so high praise from Gus on those two. Josh rewatched Labyrinth recently, and it did not hold up for me at all. The songs were meh, and Jennifer Connelly's acting was painful. Ooh. Yeah, that's a really... Is that her earliest? I've seen The Rocketeer. She's really young in that. She's pretty young in The Hot Spot, but she's not that young. Couldn't be because of the subject matter. But yeah, I think the youngest I've seen her is probably The Rocketeer. I have not seen her in Labyrinth. But she's like, what, 14 in that? Like, supposed to be very young, I think. But I didn't realize that she was apparently a terrible actress, according to Josh. Posty, what's the weirdest question a coworker has ever asked you about your collection? I had a coworker ask me what the Jaquez box set was. It was the Criterion Shock to Me box set. Oh, man. Hey, well, cut him some slack. Not everybody, took French. But yeah, I don't think anyone knows about my collection. I work from home, so I guess they do because they see it on like the Zoom calls or the Google meetings. But no, they don't usually ask. They just like, do you still collect movies? What? Do you still have newspapers there too? Like, it's just that annoying stuff. Like, nobody's intelligent enough to ask weird questions like your coworker. So at least you got that. All he did was mispronounce a movie. But yeah, I don't know. It's nothing to write home about. Coworkers or family members or anybody really. Nobody finds my shelf interesting at all except for you guys. Bailey Walsh, no, Labyrinth is so good in my opinion. I watched it as a teen, and I liked it. Found Sarah to be kind of annoying, but rewatched it this year. Loved it. Immediately bought a Blu-ray. Understood and related to Sarah more. Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad it held up for you. That's what I hear. I hear like some people still love it. Some people think it doesn't hold up. So I don't know. I could go either way, I guess. I'll probably watch it with my kids. That might help to kind of see it through their eyes for the first time. That helps if you have kids and you can kind of re-experience stuff that you missed growing up that you didn't get to watch. It's kind of a good way to get in. Henry says Guns of Navarone was the original. Force 10 was a later sequel, not a remake. Okay, so that's what I was talking about. Force 10 was the one that has an indicator release. That's very cool. Bailey Walsh says, might be watching Dark Crystal this weekend with friends. I chose it as an option in our upcoming movie marathon. Sweet! I love that you have a movie marathon with your friends. I would love to start doing like a monthly movie watch party here at the house for some of my movie-loving friends. I just haven't got it off the ground yet, but hopefully I can get that started soon because that sounds like a lot of fun. Let's see, where are we? Right about an hour. Doing good on time so far. Keep those questions coming. We'll keep this going for a little bit longer. Baloney says, I like my bonus content on the disc, but the online content was only good when it was a last-minute find. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting take. Gus, I pre-ordered The Neverending Story and A Bridge Too Far 4Ks from Imprint. Oh, so you got The Neverending Story and The Bridge Too Far. Very cool. Congratulations. Did you get I guess you had to have gotten the $170 one or $180. Wow, you guys have got to share your secrets. How do you afford this stuff? What am I doing wrong? What are you guys doing for work that I can get in on? You got any freelance that you could send my way? Because that would be great. Patrick Craig, Mask of the Phantasm is the best Batman movie ever. I take Patrick Craig's opinion very seriously. He has told me about a lot of great movies here on the channel in the comments. So, and I've heard pretty much nothing but great things about Mask of the Phantasm forever. It's just I'm not a big Batman guy. I didn't grow up with Batman. I was a big Marvel superheroes fan growing up as a kid. Watched all that stuff, but never saw the Batman animated series. So there was really no reason for me to watch the movie or even to know about the movie. So, yeah, maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I'll watch that with my kids later on when they're a little older. But who knows? Michael Smith, DJ, which segment of the Decalogue was your favorite? Mine is number 8, about the professor and the Holocaust survivor. Don't know. I don't know yet because I haven't watched any of the Decalogue yet. But I'm so excited to finally do that. I'm looking forward to it. I've been watching Kieslowski lately. So far, I've only seen Blue, which is the first film in the Three Colors trilogy. Back there on the shelf. And the second film is White, which I just watched over the weekend and loved it. Holy, what in the world? Like, I was not expecting that at all. White was so completely different, like shockingly different from Blue, but still amazing. Like it's still just as good. It was a completely different genre, completely different tone, and about a male protagonist. I just kind of assumed that all three of those movies are about female protagonists because that's what the marketing kind of like leads you to believe. But he's great. It's such a good movie, and I loved it, and I can't wait to see Red. I'll probably watch that next. Either I'll watch that next or I'll go to the Decalogue and then I'll come back to Red. I might do that because I like having some space in between those. I watched Blue like a year ago, then I watched White. Maybe I'll jump into Decalogue next. Very excited to jump into those. But I'll let you know, Michael Smith. You will see my thoughts somewhere, either on the channel or over on the Letterboxd account, somewhere. I'll get my thoughts out on that because I'm really excited to get into those, actually. I'm very excited to dive into that. Evil Wax. My girlfriend and I have been on a Tom Tykwer kick lately. Watched Run Lola Run and Princess and the Warrior last weekend. I think I enjoyed them even more on the second watch. I have not seen all of Run Lola Run, but I watched some of it in one of my film classes in school. I can't remember why we watched that. I was like, because I don't know. Because I was in a VFX and motion graphics major, so most of the stuff we watched was about like special effects stuff or title sequences. So maybe Run Lola Run has an interesting title sequence. I can't remember why I watched some of that, but it seemed like an interesting movie, and I've always been curious about it ever since. But that was a long time ago. That was way back in my college years. Carrie Witt. When I was on the Arrow 50% hunt last week, I asked a salesperson, and she went in the back and came out with the Warriors Deluxe box. She said, "This is all I found. Of course, I bought it." Sweet. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I guess it never hurts to ask. A lot of times, there's nobody back there at all in the media section. I never see people back there in the media section. And when I ask them, they're kind of just like they have no idea what I'm talking about. So I haven't had that luck, but I am glad that you found the Warriors. That's actually when I was looking. I was on the back porch with my kids. We were just kind of like lounging around lazy after school one day, and I was just kind of scrolling through actually I had my iPad for some reason, and I was scrolling through like the Arrow 50% off. I was just seeing if anything jumped out at me, and maybe I would pick something out. And my 4-year-old daughter was sitting on my lap, and she was like, "You need to get that one." And she pointed to the big green Warriors Deluxe box set that you're talking about. So she really wants me to get that. Maybe I'll try. I think the sale's on for a few more days. But yeah, I've never seen Warriors, but she wants me to get it because she likes the box. Internet user, let's invade Connor's Barnes & Noble in Oregon and share the wealth. Let's do it. Let's do it like a Robin Hood situation, like a road trip, Robin Hood road trip to Oregon. There's a video. Internet users thinking, not just a hat rack, my friend. Gus, my Barnes & Nobles suck too, DJ. They only carry Criterions, and that's it. And not even that many of those lately. It's kind of a bummer. Sheila Rose, a new name I don't recognize. Welcome to the stream. Wind River is so good. So good. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. Dan's Den, Jennifer Connelly's film debut was Once Upon a Time in America. Thanks as always for the trivia facts, Dan's Den. Couldn't have done it without you. Very, very cool. So she's been acting just forever. She's in so many things. Nacho says, right? I don't know. He must be talking to somebody else. Baloney. To find Arrow titles, go through the standard movie racks and look for the clear tops. They come in clear cases, so they're easy to find. Yeah, that's basically what I do. Unless they have slip covers, then they're a little bit harder to find. You just have to look for the A logo. But yeah, you can usually skim pretty quick. It's not like they have a lot there. It's mostly manga these days. Let's see. What else is... Oh, here we go. Mark's Movie Menu. Good. I like to see some input from some people who don't normally talk in the chat. Welcome to the stream, Mark. I love the Columbia Classics. I just wait until they're drastically come down in price. I got Volume 3 for $57. It's just stressful, fearing that they sell out before I'm ready to buy it. Yeah, that's my worry, is that they're expensive forever, and then they just drop at the last minute, and then they immediately go out of print. But I'm glad that you were able to snag Volume 3 for just $57. That's crazy. That's an insane deal. Sheila Rose, what 4K player do you use? I use the Panasonic, what's it called? Panasonic UB820. I actually just bought this, was it last year? Maybe the year before? I'll just share my screen. Great question. And I keep meaning to do like a theater tour, and I never do. For some reason, that video is impossible for me to shoot, but hopefully I can get to it soon. The Panasonic... this is the Panasonic UB820. The Panasonic has like 3 different models. There's a 420, which is still a really, really good player, probably the best one you can get for the price. And then the Panasonic UB820, I think, just has HDR and a different remote, I think is the big difference between those two. Do your own research. Don't trust me. And then there's another one, I think it's the UB like 9000 or something. It's insane. It's like $1,000 player. I can't get that one. But these are like the three best players. When I did my research, I had a Sony X700 for the longest time and had no problems with it. It was great. The reason I upgraded to the UB820 from Panasonic was that it has a little like button trick that allows you to play most region-free Blu-rays, most Region B Blu-rays or other regions. So I've been doing that for the last year and a half and have had none that don't work. I've been watching a ton of Region B stuff. I didn't have to get it specially like hacked or anything. It's just a nice little button trick that works on the Panasonic. And there's a bunch of videos about it. You can just look it up. I don't need to tell you how to do it. It's like a thing on YouTube, and I discovered that. Once I discovered that, I was like, okay, this is the player I'm getting. It's 19% off right now, so it's like at $400. I think I got it for cheaper than that, but yeah, it's a great player. I've had no problems with it. Looks great. Has all the bells and whistles, except like whatever that 9000 one has. I'm sure it's better for some reason. I'm not that technical, so I don't think I'm ever gonna. This is like the ceiling for me for a player. So that's what I use downstairs with my 4K projector in the theater, and it looks great. So I recommend it. But thanks for the question. Great question. Carrie Witt, going to see Beetlejuice tomorrow, $5 Tuesdays. Wow, that's cool. I wish my theater did that. Let's hope Burton is back to some of his earlier form. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a long time. I think the last Burton movie I watched was that Peregrine's Home for Foster, what is it? Imaginary Friend? I don't know what it's called. Gifted Children? I don't know what it's called. It was terrible. Sorry if you like that movie. I thought it was supremely mediocre. I did not care for it. Big Fish. Holding on to Big Fish. That is my favorite Tim Burton movie, or the last good one, I guess. Figure Out Films. Am I crazy for thinking Criterion has the worst 4K output? At least when compared to Arrow, Vinson, and Scream Factory. Do you mean like what do you mean? Do you mean like they're really bad at their 4K transfers, or do you mean like they don't put out as much 4K as the rest of the boutique labels? Because they've been doing a lot lately. Pretty much all of their releases for the last 2 months have been 4Ks. So I think they were slowly leaning into it, but they've been getting really into 4K lately. I really like the 4Ks I've seen from them. I'm not, like I said, a super technical guy, so I don't pick up on the little granular details, but what did I watch recently that I got from them for a 4K? Baron Munchausen, Adventures of Baron Munchausen, watched, and it was great. It looked really good. So I've liked some of the 4Ks that they've been putting out, but yeah, I mean, they're probably not the best at it, for sure. I don't think you're crazy, but welcome to the stream. Gus, I don't have kids or a wife, DJ. Well, that's how you can afford everything then. You're not paying thousands and thousands of dollars in daycare. So enjoy it while it lasts, my good man. Mackenzie Wilkes, haven't been able to drop by for a while. Hate that I'm showing up so late, but hello everyone. Hey, welcome. I'm glad to have you. Doesn't matter what time you show up. There's no faux pas here. We're all having a good time. It's kind of just like one of those. It's kind of just come in whenever. It's one of those parties. There's no schedule. Nacho BB is fun, not better than the first. Okay. So some people have already seen Beetlejuice. I wish that was coming out a little bit later. It's a little too early. I'm not in the spooky spirit yet. I want to wait a couple more weeks. But I'm going to have to watch it before it leaves. Sean Landy, another new name. Lots of new folks tonight. Thanks, guys. I don't know why all the new folks are here, but I'm glad, and I'm having a good time talking to you. So let's keep it going for a little bit longer here. Wait, just tuned in. Did he say he isn't going to see Phantasm? Not that I'm not going to see Phantasm. I said that I haven't seen Phantasm. Maybe I will. I probably will, eventually, at some point. Just haven't yet. So there's still hope. Don't lynch me. It's okay. I mean, I'll probably see it. Don't worry. Brent, Decalogue is one of my favorite series of all time, up there with Fanny and Alexander for me. That makes me very excited, Brent, because I know you and I have very similar tastes, especially with Kieslowski is different, very different than Rohmer, but I see some similarities. And I know you really like Rohmer. I really like Rohmer. They're both directors that kind of focus on the very, like the humanity of the stories and the relationships between the characters. From the little bit of Kieslowski I've seen, he seems like he puts that in the forefront like I like it. So I'm very excited that you love the Decalogue. And I can't wait to check it out. I'm very excited about it. Michael Smith, happy that you loved White. It is my favorite of the three, but I am a big Julie Delpy fan. Oh, well, that movie might have been tough for you then. No spoilers, but yeah, that's an interesting performance from Julie Delpy, but she's awesome. She's in 2 of the best trilogies of all time, which I now know. I didn't know she was in that movie. It was a total surprise when she showed up. Let's see. Whoa, the chat just jumped up. Thank you guys for all the engagement tonight. A lot of fun. Bailey Walsh, I have a few movie groups I do stuff with, mainly my movie marathon group, a marathon monthly. Pick a theme, each gives suggestions. My friend's Cinnabon Club, 1 movie a month, maybe a bonus movie. Sweet. That sounds awesome. Sounds like another thing that I would need to not have kids or a wife for because I don't have very many nights. My Mondays, I'm doing this. My Thursdays is the only other night that I get to shoot videos for this channel. And then every other day in between is balancing back and forth between my kids and trying to get some good, stay up to date and have date nights with my wife because I don't want to leave her out. So it's a lot to balance. But weekends maybe. We could start a movie night on weekends. Baloney, do you remember when Blu-rays and DVDs had the alternate angle feature? I would love to see a movie done on 4K Blu-ray. Alternate angle? What do you mean? Do you mean like, are you talking about like, there's like a bonus feature where you've got like, it's like you can click on it and there's like another little box over here, like a second sight, second vision where you can like see the scenes from like different angles. Is that what you're talking about? Because yes, I remember that. There's a lot of weird movies. Like Disney did that for a while, and I think Zack Snyder was doing those. Like Man of Steel had one where you could like see behind the scenes stuff while you're watching the movie. I never did those. That was always weird to me. I want to see the movie, and then I want to see the behind the scenes. I don't want to do it at the same time. I guess it's kind of fun if you've already seen the movie a lot. It's kind of like a commentary. Video commentary is basically what it is. I never really did those. I like audio commentaries, but no, I guess I remember it, but I never really took advantage of it. Evil Wax says UB9000 is a lot more expensive, and the only real difference is the build quality of it. Yeah, that's right. That's what I heard. It's like really, really nice quality, like hardware. Yeah, I don't need that. I don't need it. I'm good. I'm good with the 820. Sheila says that's awesome. Thanks for the tip. You're welcome. Thanks for the question. Boom. There it is. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Thank you, Bailey Walsh. I always get confused with, like, obviously Professor X's School for Gifted Children, and then there was that show that I watched on Saturday mornings when I was a kid that's called Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. So all those three like get jumbled up in my head. So that's what was happening when you saw me having a stroke earlier on screen. Evil Wax says his favorite Burton film is Edward Scissorhands. Very cool. That's another one that I need to watch soon. That's like a Christmas movie. I should pop that one. I should watch Beetlejuice in October, and then I should watch Scissorhands in fall. I mean, not fall, Christmas. What am I saying? I need to get off camera. I've been talking too long. Figure Out says definitely mean the transfers, but happy with the output. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard similar things. I've heard that they don't do a good job with their compression on their discs. Again, not something that I am super perceptive at noticing, but I trust people. I trust people with who are more knowledgeable with that stuff than me. Eclectic Entertainment Podcast. We got a podcast tuning in. I know you're not a big horror fan, but do you happen to like the Universal Classic Monsters? I do. I have it right back. Well, you can't really see it anymore. Your question is covering it up, but it's right back there. I've got this Blu-ray box set that I really like. Haven't upgraded to the 4Ks because I like this box set so much. It's got Dracula, Frankenstein. What else is in there? Oh, my favorite, Invisible Man. That's actually my favorite of the whole series. Love the original Invisible Man. Also, Creature from the Black Lagoon. Another one of my favorites because I love adventure stuff, and that is a completely different flavor than all the other ones. The only one I haven't seen in that list, I've seen The Wolfman, seen The Mummy. The only one I haven't seen is the Phantom of the Opera. That one, the Universal one. I've seen the original 1925 silent version. I haven't seen that one, and I'm not in a rush to because it's not very good, I hear. I hear that one is not very good. So maybe I'll get to it eventually just to finish that box set. But yeah, I love the Universal Monsters stuff. Especially The Invisible Man. That one is so good. I love it. Love it. What else do I got to cover here? Internet user, I haven't seen the Three Colors trilogy in a couple of years. I do remember the guy getting thrown by those guys in white. Yes, he does get thrown down a hill. In the snow, actually. Brent, yes, Kieslowski is similar to Romer in that way. Arrow has a great Kieslowski box set of 4 films called Cinema of Conflict, worth picking up too. I know, and I want it so bad. I just got the Arrow box set of the Decalogue. Look at this. Oh, it's so nice. It's beautiful. I finally got my hands on this. This is one of my holy grails that I've wanted for the longest time, and you can never find it on eBay for less than $250, $300. So I've never been able to afford it, but it popped up real quick, and I snatched it before anyone else could. It was a great price, and I'm so glad I did. But I have also seen that Cinema of Conflict box set that you're talking about. It has 4 of his other films, his earlier stuff, and I really want to pick that one up as well. It's another beautiful box set from Arrow Academy that's long out of print, but it is about $100. There's only one on eBay right now that actually has pictures and is the limited version. I think there's some standard versions, but I don't have $95 to drop right now. But I want it so bad. I need it. I need that because then I'll have all the Kieslowski box sets. I'll have the whole thing. But maybe someday. That's another holy grail I'll have to check off at another point. All right. My voice is starting to fail me. We're at an hour. Let's go to about an hour 15 tonight. That'll be a good place to cap it off. So put in your last few questions, conversation starters, or just feedback in the comments, or donations, or whatever you want to put. And we will wrap this up in just a minute. Michael Smith, DJ, have you not seen Double Life of Veronique? You have a lot of great Kieslowski to see. Jealous. I have not seen that yet. I actually saw that in the last Criterion sale, in the July sale. I just randomly found it. I didn't even know there was other Kieslowski films in the collection, but there's that one, and there's another one that I'll have to get. That's the only one that's not in one of the box sets from Arrow, so I'll definitely have to get the Double Life soon, maybe in the next Criterion sale, maybe in November, I'll pick that one up. But yeah, I'm loving everything I'm seeing of him as I go through it, so I'm sure I'll pick that one up pretty soon. Sheila Rose, do you happen to have a Plex server along with your DVD collection? Not only do I not even have one, I don't even know what that is. I'm going to have to look up what that even means. Plex, is it like a digital server? No, I don't. I only have physical stuff. I would love to get into, like, every couple years, I start doing research, watching YouTube videos, and going down Amazon rabbit holes. I'm like, I'm going to buy a hard drive, I'm going to buy a DVD ripper, I'm going to buy the software, and I'm going to start ripping these things, and I never do it. It's too much. It's too much for me. I can't dedicate the time to it, but I would love to, mostly for the supplements. Like, I would love to have commentaries and interviews and stuff, like digital, so I could just listen to them while I'm doing dishes, or while I'm driving, or while I'm working. But it's just so much, and I don't know how to do it. If anyone knows like a super simple way to just rip all the content and put the commentaries on my phone, let me know, because that would be great. But no, I don't. I just have the physical. So if my house bursts down, I'm screwed. I got nothing. Let's see. What else are people saying here? Figures. As a movie fan, do you collect any figures? NECA, Hot Toys, or are ever tempted? I know another expensive hobby. I do, actually. This is a great question. And I've kicked around doing a video on my collection for a while, but I don't think anyone will care because people are here for movies. But I do collect Marvel Legends, are the only figures I collect. I know it doesn't have anything to do with movies, but I was a huge Marvel superhero kid growing up. I collected Marvel Legends when they very first came out when I was like 10, and I recently got back into it a couple of years ago. There's actually a display shelf right here in the corner that you can't see that has a bunch of them, and it's mostly Spider-Man. I mostly just collect Spider-Man figures, and I could do a video at that at some point if anybody cares. But no, great question. I like Marvel Legends. They're about as expensive as I can go. They're too expensive these days. But yeah, it's tough. I usually have to just shop on eBay and try to get good deals because I can't afford a whole nother hobby. I have to stick to movies. So I've got a good little collection that I let my kids play with. That's the main reason I do it, because it makes me feel like a kid, and they love playing with them. My daughter likes playing with them more than my son does. He's not really a action figure guy, but my daughter loves them. We watch the 60s Spider-Man show, and they'll play with them while we watch it. I've been reading them the original Steve Ditko Stan Lee 60s run on the comics, and they'll hold on to some of those while we read it. They love that stuff, so that makes me happy. And maybe I'll show those sometime. But great question. Thanks for popping in. Brent says the Cinema of Conflict looks like Amazon may have a few left to buy for $65. I might have to look into that. If it is the limited edition run, I will. I might have to stop the stream right now and go look, because that's a great price if that's true. Don't get my hopes up, Brent. But I'll definitely do that. Carrie Witt, thanks for the Arrow Recos from last chat a couple weeks ago. In addition to the Warriors, got the Conan box set and RoboCop. All excellent. Sweet. I'm glad you got your hands on some good stuff. And now this. Would you make a video on TV shows and movies you loved as a kid and watched, and which ones inspired you? Inspired me is an interesting phrase. What do you mean by that? Because I'm not a filmmaker or have any aspirations to ever be a filmmaker. So I guess you just mean in my regular life, or inspire me, or inspired my love of film, maybe? Yeah, I didn't grow up with TV. TV shows is that's my whole blind spot. I didn't grow up with TV. We never had cable. We were a movie family, so we just rented movies and watched movies every Friday, but we never watched TV. I didn't get TV until I was an adult, and I still can't really get into the medium. I just need you to tell your story quicker. I don't need it dragged out to 12 episodes. Just tell it in 2 hours. That's what I need. I can never stick to TV shows. I always drop off, and it drives my wife crazy because she's a huge TV person. But yeah, I can't get into TV. Can't even get into miniseries. I used to be able to do it. I can't. I'm a movie person. That's all. But I could talk about movies that I loved as a kid. Problem is, I was not exposed to cinema as a kid, barely at all. My parents were just whatever crappy kids movie, just throw that on. We watched Disney movies, which are great, Pixar movies and stuff, but I didn't see anything until I was an adult, really. I didn't see any classic films until I was an adult. So I don't know how interesting that video would be, but who knows? Bailey Walsh says Double Life was great on a first watch and somehow better on a rewatch for me. That's what I'm thinking. I think I'm going to like Blue and White even better on a second watch. I think those will bump up to 5 stars probably, because I gave White a 4.5 stars on the first viewing because I loved it so much. So we'll see. I can't wait to rewatch that one. Although part of the reason I loved it so much was because how much it subverted my expectations of what that movie was going to be, because it's completely different than Blue. And now this says, we would love to see your figure collection. Well, cool. Maybe I'll do it. I mean, I'm sure there's other people that would be interested. And it'd be fun. It'd be fun to go through those. Just got to figure out a good format for it, because it's kind of weird. I have to show them somehow. I don't know how I'll do that. Josh Knoll, 12 episodes. I'm old enough to remember when TV shows were 36 episodes for 9 months, then a summer of reruns. Yeah, of course. Well, with the episodic stuff too. I never really got into that, but at least you can watch those out of order. You don't have to watch the whole thing. But the way the model is now, where you have to watch every single episode, and that's too much for me. It's too daunting. Too much homework. Evil Wax, if you watched Severance, you would become a TV person overnight. Severance? What is Severance? Severance. Is that... I was thinking of... what is that other HBO show? I did start watching that, but it went on too long. Seduction? What is that show? What is that show with... God, it's getting late. I'm losing everything in my brain. Succession is that show I was thinking about. Yeah, I mean, and Grace wants to watch True Detective with me, and I'm like, I guess she wants to go back and watch that first season. I've never seen. There's a lot of shows that she wants to watch. I loved Fargo when it was coming out. I watched the first 3 seasons of Fargo and loved it. But I can't do it anymore. We started watching season 5, and I watched the first episode and just kind of fell off again. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm broken. I can't watch TV anymore. I've gotten too into movies, I guess. Let's see. Benra says, show your figure collection when you give us a tour of your theater. Well, if that's the case, it's never going to happen. Mark's movie menu. What are some of your favorite dark comedies? I love Martin McDonagh's Seven Psychopaths. I love Martin McDonagh's everything. Martin McDonagh is one of my favorite directors. So great choice there. First film is In Bruges, which is amazing. And they get better and better. Like Seven Psychopaths is awesome. And then after that, he did Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. And then the last one he just did, which I am, Banshees of Inisherin? Amazing. One of my favorite movies of all time, and my favorite movie of that year, and probably my favorite Martin McDonagh movie. So yeah, he's one of the best. I should actually, if you're not tuned into my Letterboxd, check it out, DJ Martinez III. I just literally last night put together a list of my favorite comedies because I watched Odd Couple. I was in like a comedy mood, and I always kind of like horror. I always mention that I'm not a big comedy guy. So I was like, if I was going to do a comedy list, what would my comedies be? And it's really hard to do a list of comedies because comedy is such like a vague term. Like, do I only include movies that are just comedies? Do I include action comedies? Do I include horror? I mean, horror comedies, like musical, like there's so many different, like especially comedy dramas is like really hard for me. Like, is Sideways Sideways I love. It's one of my favorite movies. It's not really it's not really a comedy. It's like a drama with like some really dark and dry humor in it. So it's really hard to make a list. So I went through and added like 50 or 60 of my favorite comedies, and I'm going to publish that list soon. So you'll see a lot of my favorites. I'm still just trying to narrow it down and see what even should count on a comedy list. It's a little hard list for me to make, but that's why I want to make it, because I've really been enjoying making lists lately. So if that's interesting to you, I'll keep posting those on my Letterboxd. Let's see. Couple more questions here. We're at 120. Okay, we went a little longer than I was hoping. So let me just wrap this up. Say our final goodbyes here. Evil Wax Succession is an amazing show too. The writing is so layered and smart. Yes. And it has Zach from Sky High, the classic Disney superhero film, which is crazy that they have Zack Attack in the Succession show. Michael Smith, my version of hell would be having to watch Three Billboards over and over. Oh, not a fan of Three Billboards. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was a divisive one, I feel. But I loved it. DJ, do you have a P.O. box yet? No, I don't have a P.O. box yet because I looked it up and it is freaking expensive. It would not even be worth it. It's like, I couldn't even remember. It was like $20 a month or something. And like, nobody's going to send me stuff. I don't want to say that because I've had a couple great subscribers, really cool guys who have like reached out to me on Instagram and said they want to send me some stuff. And I'm so thankful and it's awesome, but I have to be to a certain level or enough stuff that was coming in to make it worth it. It's crazy how much it costs to have a P.O. box. And especially like it's a small one. Like there's like different sizes and they get crazy expensive. Obviously I could just give out my address to people on Instagram, but it's a little, I don't know, there's a little bit of a concern. Not that you guys are like crazy people or anything, but I don't know. I got a wife and kids. I got to kind of, be a little cautious about that stuff. So maybe someday I'll get a P.O. box. Right now, the only way people can really send me stuff is through the Amazon wish list in the description, which I appreciate anyone who's ever done that. It's so cool that Amazon like sends stuff to you without there being any like, you don't have to ship anything. It just sends it right out. But that's only the stuff that Amazon is selling. So I know it's not as cool. Like if you have stuff laying around that you want to send me. So sorry, Posty, I don't yet. Hopefully someday I can figure that out. If we get to that point, maybe I'll get a raise or something. I can afford it. What else do we have here? Bailey Walsh says, maybe have the title say comedic rather than comedy if you're overthinking the genre, LOL. Kevin Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove is hard to beat as a dark comedy. That's definitely on the list. That was pretty high up on my list, actually. Posty says, don't give out your address. Yeah, I'm not. I'm definitely not giving out my address. I'll try to figure out some way to do that. Somebody recently was talking to me about a Deaf Crocodile movie that I really want, and they were going to try to send it to me, but I was like, I don't feel comfortable giving out the address. So hopefully someday. I really appreciate everything that you guys want to do. I don't have an easy way to do it or an affordable way to do it, which is unfortunate. But thank you guys so much for just watching, for just liking, for subscribing. All that stuff is more than enough. You guys are the best. Really, really appreciate all of the feedback tonight. I am so excited to get back into this. I missed it last week, and it's been a super fun night. And I'm so grateful for you guys. You guys are the best. Love my subscribers, and love talking to you guys. And I have a new video coming out tomorrow. I don't know. I'm going to try to get up as soon as I can. It's shot, and I will get it edited and up as soon as I can. And I've got a couple more planned. I got to play catch up for the next couple weeks because we took that week off. But thank you guys again for the fun night. And until next time, keep collecting, and I'll be back with another video real soon.